Yeah, so people, and the news has just come in. Thank you to the people in the chat that have let us know about the Timber injury news has been confirmed on Arsenal's website. The article says, further to detailed assessments with consultant specialists since Saturday, we can confirm that Jurrien Timber has sustained an injury to his anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee. Jurrien will undergo surgery in the coming days and will be out of action for a period of time. The support and expertise from our medical team and everyone at the club will now be focused on Jurrien's rehabilitation program to ensure he recovers well and is back playing as soon as possible. So yeah,
ACL, that's a serious injury, bro.
That's probably the worst case scenario when you're talking about knee injuries. They haven't really delved much into the extent of it, but they have said it's the ACL, and that is at least 6 months out.
At least, minimum, yeah. And then mentally getting back in, being a defender. Like I mentioned this in a show that we just recently filmed. Like, as a defender, an ACL, you've got to remember you're one that's making tackles, and you have to go in, you got to be aggressive to get that mentally over that block when coming back out of rehab is tough, man. Oh, my days. So annoying. He was such a transformative...
Right. It says sustained an injury, so... I swear with the ACL, it's either like a tear or a rupture. There's a difference in the length of time, I think. There probably isn't much difference in the length of time. I'm probably hoping for the best on it, but he is definitely going to be out for a long period of time, people. New summer signing, Timber. To be honest, he's been a lot of people's favourite summer signing.
My favourite
having seen him over pre-season and so on. He's kind of been the one to stand out the most.
Slotted in the best out of all the signings so far at Arsenal over the pre-season. He was one of for me a transformative signing. Very comfortable on the ball. He was a player that it surprised me, but like I said, he looked the most comfortable in the Arsenal shirt out of all the signings. Big up Declan Rice, obviously our record signing, but I still think there's a bit of time for him to bed in. Still not sold on Havertz, so yeah, I think Timber was for me, this is a huge loss, and I don't think there's many that can replace him. To bring to Arsenal what we've seen him do since he's been in pre-season and the first game of the season, even though it was only a short period, but that's my thoughts, man. Really sad. Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but what do we do now? I mean, I think that's something that's going to be talked about for the coming days. I know this kind of report about an ACL came out a couple of days ago, but if you've seen me talk about it since, I've always hoped for the best, because I just looked at the injury and I just didn't see an ACL coming out of it. But you know, what do I know? And here we are. But what do? Do we go with what we got? Considering he is the only one we've added to the back line from last season. I know Declan Rice has been brought in, and the attributes he possesses will assist the back line and will help protect them. But Timber was the only addition, and he was the addition. As soon as we signed Timber, as soon as the interest came out with Timber, I said to myself, yes, because going into the summer, one of the positions I said we needed to improve on is the right-sided centre-back position / right-back position. And he fits that profile to a T. Then he comes in and plays left-back too, to a high standard. So for me, it's quite a huge loss. No disrespect, but Holding's in the same position now as he was last season, on the cusp of being in the first 11 again. And I think that is, when you look at the last 2 seasons and towards the end of the last 2 seasons, defensive depth has cost us.
Bro, it's just for me, listen, we done a show, me, James, we were talking transfers, and he gave us some options for other players. But I'll keep it real. Like I said, he was so transformative. In the little time we saw him, there's Cancelo, there's loads of Fresnay, there's loads of other options that, it's paper talk right now. But for me, I know I think Arsenal, I don't think they're going to do a panic buy. I think they're probably going to try and move some players around, because we've got a lot of options in defence. We have loads. There's loads. Like when Zinchenko's back, with Zinchenko, you've got Tomiyasu obviously to go there. You've got Ben White that plays there. I mean, you can go on the right side. Obviously, Saliba's right side of the defence, so he's not going to play there. But there's loads of cover in the defence line. But for me, I just feel like that signing kept us challenging for the title of Jurrien Timber. I think now that he's gone, he's injured for a while. I don't know what Arsenal are going to do. It's a conundrum that they're going to have to really sit down and think about. But it is really it's really difficult to think, because I think it was such a threat down that left side with Zinchenko playing inverted, and Martinelli I think improved with that. We had that with Jurrien Timber on the other side. It gave teams such a big problem to deal with, where we can do it left side, we can do it right side. But now this needs to be looked at, because I don't think we'll be able to reach them heights when it comes to offensively, you know, making it difficult for other teams with a Ben White there. Don't get me wrong, Ben White defensively is really good, but the offensive side that Jurrien Timber bring, it's not great.
So what do we do? Prioritise the attacker we all wanted, or do we now, you know, prioritise this issue ahead of that? Still the attacker.
Yeah, and again, I've literally just recorded a show, so a lot of this is going to be stuff that you're gonna see when it comes out. But yeah, I think you go prioritise still for the attacker or cover for Saka. I think you just let Jurrien Timber recover and use what you've got. You've got depth when it comes to that position. Even we spoke about this as well. Brook Norton-Cuffy as well. Like, they're still youngsters, and I'm not looking at going to bring him in because it's a lot of pressure to fill those boots. But you might want to start looking at maybe slowly integrating maybe someone from the youth, from the academy, player on loan, bring him in, because that's what happened. Like, look at like Rashford, he got his opportunity, you never knew how that was going to turn out. It turned out amazingly well. City with Rico Lewis, really, really good as well. Homegrown talent. Like, you can look at those options, but again, there's more options when it comes to Ben White, Tomiyasu, those sort of options there as well. But for me, I don't think they go in the market and get a panic buy and get a recovery placement for him. I think they use what they've got, and then we still go for an attacker, in my personal opinion.
Still go for an attacker.
Yeah,
I'd probably prefer that, but I like the options we have, like Brook Norton-Cuffy and whatnot. They're not like for Timber.
No, of course not. Brook
Norton-Cuffy is more like for like with Tierney just on the on
my
the other
thing
side.
is go for attacker, then look at. My thing is go for attacker. No, my thing is use what you've got already in defence for just rotate. Well, Arteta does. He loves to do that. Chink, chink, chink. Then it will be okay. If you can't do that, then maybe look at bringing someone through. A lot of pressure, but bringing someone through. And then the next thing will be get a panic buy, not a panic buy, but bringing someone to come in. But the only player I really think I'd want to see come in is Cancelo at that level, that could bed in and play that role, kind of similar to Jurrien Timber. There's no other player for me that slots in and reaches that level that we saw.
A few people briefly in the chat have said Cancelo.
That would have been me.
Someone said get Cecil to play left back.
You never know, bro. You never know. We need a striker. I said I'm available, but Arteta and them, man.
I'd be surprised if you know what. I'd be surprised if we went out and signed a player because of this news. I wouldn't be surprised if we bring in a player on loan because of this news. Who's available on loan? I haven't got a clue, but I wouldn't be surprised by a loan move and still a potential purchase in the attacking line.
Okay.
Potentially.
Yeah.
So there's still business to do, but
there's still time in the window.
Yeah, people, the worst news has been confirmed on the Jurrien Timber situation. Just to read it again, it's on arsenal.com. Further to detailed assessments with consultant specialists since Saturday, we can confirm that Jurrien Timber has sustained an injury to his anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee. Jurrien will undergo surgery in the coming days and will be out of action for a period of time. The support and expertise from our medical team and everyone at the club will now be focused on Jurrien's rehabilitation program to ensure he recovers well and is back playing as soon as possible. Apparently 6-7 months is the usual time frame that we're looking at, so that would mean February, March until he's able to get back into training, potentially kick a ball, potentially. So it is looking like an injury that will impact the whole season. As I said, it's the worst case scenario on that news. Get well soon, Timber. We was really looking forward to seeing you more and more in an Arsenal shirt. But that time will still come. Hopefully you can get back to a confident you, because after these types of injuries, we've seen players bounce back from them and we've seen players hampered by them.
Yeah, Jesus come back from a knee injury as well. He come back, he seems sharp still. I know he's on another injury, but he did come back, and when in that small time he was there, he was sharp. So it's just sad news, man. It is sad news. And listen, other clubs go through big injuries for big players. We mentioned Kevin De Bruyne, he's out as well. But this one just feels, because for me, this was my favourite signing of the window so far. That's why it hurts so much. So I wish him all the best. I hope he recovers very quickly, and I hope Arsenal get it sorted, because this is something that it's going to affect, you know, our run-ins and the level that Arsenal have been playing at. So hopefully they get it sorted. Maybe go for Ivan Toney. So when we come back in January, we've got Timber and Ivan Toney, a fresh new look, coming hitting the ground. If we're still in there roundabouts, we can come back in January on smoke. Anyway, but yeah, listen, and on top of that as well, actually, quickly, Arsenal with Jesus, actually, he recovered quicker than initially thought. So you never know. They say 6 to 8 months. He can, with the medical team, they've done an amazing job with Gabriel Jesus. It may be quicker. I hope it is. I pray it is. I hope it might be quicker than we all are probably going to assume it's going to be, because a lot of us are probably in panic state right now. Which I say is yes. So I've been doing a lot of
I'm not panicking yet. It's just a worry, considering the way the last 2 season ends unfolded with a couple injuries in the defensive unit. Have we gone back in for Timber?
We got him.